Welcome to Her Balance Redefined podcast, the podcast for women who are tired of having to do it all. I'm your host, Robin L., and you'll hear honest conversations and mindful insights from women who are redefining balance in different seasons of their lives. Stay tuned. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Her Balance Redefined. Joining me, I have my very special friend, media extraordinaire, settle-free dating coach, the lovely Miss Tinsley.
Hello, Robin, and hello, viewers. Thank you for having me.
I mean, we are just so excited about this, to really sit down and do this interview.
Yeah. So I'm all about giving flowers, and I really mean that literally, not just a social media version of let's give her or him their flowers. So on behalf of me, and created by my lovely daughter, founder of It's Key Creations, I want to give you this beautiful congratulatory bouquet. Because I just, Robin, I admire you. I wanted to start off saying that,
Likewise.
I watch your journey. I see the things that you deal with and that you've dealt with, even some quietly. And that just shows your ability to have strength and endurance, even through some of the most challenging moments in your life. And I just think that you're doing great things.
Thank
and you
you
deserve to be celebrated. Look at this. Look at you.
I humbly accept, and I'm so grateful. Thank you.
There you go. You're welcome.
Give me a hug.
Congratulations. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. These are beautiful. Oh, thank you, Tinsley.
You're welcome.
Guys. So make sure to check out, what's your daughter's?
It's Key Creations.
Key Creations.
Yeah,
Thank
so that's
you,
K-E-E. And the Creations has a K too. Really creative.
Awesome. So I will actually put this here.
Thank you.
Before we jump in, I want to share how Tinsley and I met.
Yes, please do.
Yes.
Please do. Pretty cool.
So when I first moved to Georgia, that was umpteen years ago. I think my daughter was maybe about 7 years old. She's a teenager now. And there was this event, Kids Got Talent.
Yes.
Yes. So she was doing her little photography thing, and I ended up running into Tinsley. I was like, this lady is doing her thing, and she's a media boss, and it was just so exciting. One of the first few women that I connected with when I moved to Georgia.
Yep, I remember that. I remember it.
And it was just like this connection. I mean, we stayed in touch. We even bumped into each other at the Soul Train Awards.
We did, because we are the media queens here.
Yes.
In the South.
Yes, and I remember you had that gown on. I was like, oh, okay, this is how you do it. Because I was new to the Soul Train Awards. I was like, okay. So I was like, this is how you do it. So it was awesome.
It was one of my favorite times. I love doing Soul Train Music Awards and a lot of those other large platforms at some of the award shows. It's like an opportunity to meet, get to know up close and personal with some of the celebrities and kind of like learn a little bit more about their personality. Because what I noticed while doing that is a lot of them are really nice people in real life.
Absolutely.
And then some of them ain't.
But yeah, the majority are, but for those that aren't, it's either one extreme or the other.
Exactly.
One extreme or the other. So yeah,
and we've been connected ever since.
Ever since your birthday parties, different events.
Yeah.
Yes, so all good stuff. So I'm excited for you to hear all about Miss Tinsley's Settle Free, which we're going to jump right into.
Let's jump into it.
Just kind of tell us, where did that phrase come from, settle free, and what does that mean?
So settle free, I remember a long time ago when I interviewed with some ladies, the lady thought that I was saying settle free meaning refusing to ever settle down. I don't know how she landed there, but I can kind of see how she landed there. But what settle free is, it means not settling for less than you deserve. It means refusing to just accept crumbs.
Ooh.
Go for the whole loaf. You know what I'm saying?
I know that's right.
It means that, and sometimes settle free doesn't actually look like misery or unhappiness. Like settle free can be, how can I put it? It can be comfort that's slowly draining you.
Oh.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like when you're still like settling does not always mean that you're just somewhere walking around looking like I'm just living a life of settling. I'm just miserable because I'm settling for less in my relationship. No, you could be totally coping with it, but inside you're really draining because you're putting up with so much stuff in a relationship or friendship, but in a relationship that you really don't necessarily have to. And think about it this way. If you keep trying to or having to convince yourself that the relationship you're in, it ain't so bad. Well, at least he's doing this, or at least he's doing that, right? You're somewhat making excuses for that person, and you're actually in a relationship, in my opinion, that you are settling for, because
Right.
you shouldn't have to convince yourself that this isn't that bad. Settle free is all about alignment versus approval, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? You're looking for alignment, not just approval from your spouse or your mate or whoever you're dating. So
Yes.
that's what I say.
I love that perspective. And that's what I was going to ask. Like, what are some key tips that you are settling? And you kind of nailed on that. Anything else you want to add, just so that someone can know, yeah, like you said, it may not be that bad, but it's not quite what I desire.
So let me say this. So when you're settling, you're making excuses for people's behavior more than you're able to really enjoy life with that person. You're spending a lot of your time making excuses for their behavior. Oh, don't worry about that. He just does that sometimes. Oh, she just acts like that, or whatever. Instead of enjoying your time with that person. And that means you're settling, because now you're having to keep explaining these behaviors that we know many times are toxic.
Right.
And that's not a good sign to me. And also, another thing I picked up on about settling for less is most people in relationships, when they're settling, they seem to be a little bit more relieved than excited. You know what I mean by that? They're more relieved than excited. And what I mean by that is, at least I have a mate. At least I'm not in that situation as bad as it was before. This is bad, but it's not as bad as that other one. So at least this. At least I'm not single. At least I've been chosen. At least he picked me.
That's a lot of at least.
Right. You are spending your life unhappy in a relationship, unfulfilled, clearly, but you're more relieved that at least you're not single. At least you're not that person that doesn't have anyone or can't get a man, in so many people's opinion.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And that's something that, one more I'm going to give you that I think is really interesting too. Your gut feeling, your intuition is constantly telling you this isn't it for you. This relationship is not a good relationship for you. This relationship is not healthy, but you're not listening to that. It's a whisper. It's not always loud.
It's not always loud.
It's telling you this isn't a good fit, but you're brushing it off because what you're dealing with is convenient. You're in a relationship that you've become, you're dealing with, you're tolerating, you're settling. You're settling for less.
I like that key, tolerating.
Yeah.
Yes, so that is key.
Yeah.
And what are some tips for someone to maybe kind of get out of that mode of settling and just finding someone in alignment with what they desire?
So one of the things that I often say is, the proof is in the pudding. The writing is on the wall. Just like I can see what that book says that says inspire others, I can see behaviors. I can see people's actions and the way they treat me and the way they make me feel. If a person I'm dating makes me feel a way over and over and over again, that's not a coincidence. That's who that person is. That's that person's character.
When they show you, believe them.
When they show you, believe them. And if I'm in a relationship with someone who I feel like I'm always having to debate something, having to prove something, having to seek validation, having to show that I'm good enough, that's not healthy. So ways you cannot do that is, the moment you see those relationships, you don't have to make an announcement. You just casually exit the scene. You just exit. You stop being available for that person. You stop over-explaining. You stop explaining why you're not talking anymore. You can make a bold exit if you want to, but I'm the type of person I'd be like, this is not working for me, so I'm just going to go ahead and stop talking to this person. You can either say, you know what, some things aren't going well with this. I don't like where we're heading. And if that person want to argue, just be like, well, it's just not working for me. Or you can silently say, I'm busy that month.
Yep.
And they come again, can we get together next week? I'm busy that week. Can we get together 2 weeks from now? I'm busy 2 weeks from now.
It'll fizzle out.
And then eventually they will fizzle off and see that that's not it. And then you've relieved yourself, you saved yourself from a lifetime of settling for less, because it's hard to get out once you get in.
Yes.
Especially if you're emotionally connected with someone. It's hard to get out because now you're like, oh, I'm in this thing. I'm going to try to see if I can make it work because I don't feel like arguing today. I don't feel like dealing with the emotions of this person. So let me just go ahead and act like I'm okay right now. You know what I'm saying? Just to get through the day, right? Anybody familiar with that? You're just kind of like I said earlier, tolerating stuff just to get through the day. Who wants to live a life or be in a relationship with someone where they have to just tolerate stuff?
Yeah, that's
just to
not
get
it.
through the day?
That's not
It's
it.
365 days in a year.
Okay.
You want to spend 365 days just having to tolerate someone just to get through a day?
So on the internet, the men, when women set standards, they are very boisterous in saying, oh, you're going to be single forever. You're going to be alone, or you're 30 and single, 40, whatever single. So men like to say that, oh, once you're of a certain age, your value decreases. So what are your thoughts on that?
You talking about those one that be talking about older women or washed up type of people?
Yes, those type.
Value are decreasing. Let me say, you know what? I actually got something that I thought about bringing with me. Using that terminology here, going to my little bag. I got my little thing here. So, yeah, I am washed up. I am washed up. I'm clean, free from foolery. I'm washed up. I'm free from toxicity. I'm free from negativity and buffoonery. So I'm washed up. And I'm exfoliated from the rough patches of the guy's life who's saying something like that.
I know that's right.
I'm washed up. We washed up. And I'm going to say this. Most guys who say that are guys who more than likely have been benefiting from women before they evolved.
That's
Catch
deep.
that?
That's deep.
They were benefiting from that woman before she evolved. So now she's the problem because she no longer tolerates the behavior. Women, as we age, we don't lose value. We gain discernment.
I know that's right.
And that discernment can intimidate and threaten people. And when you do that, now they're like, let me try to flip this to make her look like the problem, because she's no longer sitting here allowing me to be toxic. She's not sitting here being a pick-me anymore. She's not doing anything, tap dancing around just to impress me like she used to. Oh, she gonna be old and washed up. Let me get that what do you call it, loofah again? I'll be fine, but I'm nice and clean, free from foolery, free from toxicity.
And peaceful. Yeah, that sounds like manipulation.
It sounds like manipulation
That's
to me.
what it sounds like.
And it doesn't make a woman, age does not make a woman less valuable in a sense. Once she learns some things and she's been around, and she knows a thing or two about a thing or two, it makes her less available. And that pisses them off.
Oh, that's deep.
Like what we talked about earlier about the whole, I'm busy that week, I'm busy next month. When you know your worth, and people talk about this all the time on the internet. Oh, know your worth, know your worth. What does that mean? It's not necessarily the monetary numbers of your worth. It just means you overall as a person. You are worth more than arguing for 365 days.
Absolutely.
Tolerating BS for 365 days.
Absolutely.
Settling for less for 365 days of your life. So your value, you know your worth because you don't have to deal with that. Wash yourself free from that foolishness. I'm going to say one more thing about that. Calling a woman washed up at a certain age is what I think is like a defense mechanism for a man who sees she no longer needs him.
Oh.
She no longer needs or really wants him or desires him, and they feel a way about it. And this is not to knock all men. Let me say that I always have to put that out there because there's some amazing guys out there. This is just about the subject matter of those who talk about women being washed up after a certain age, or they're going to be old and alone, and some even said with cats. If I'm going to get a pet, my animal of choice is going to be a dog. I don't want a cat scraping on my
cat
curtains.
lady over here. Right?
No.
And, it's very interesting that they say that because there are some studies that show that women that are in long-term relationships, marriages, and it's unhealthy, it decreases their lifespan, but it also enhances or adds to the man's years. So,
see? And this is research.
And that's what they want. That's what they want. They want you to settle and decrease your life expectancy.
Yeah, a lot of women, and I've seen this too firsthand. A lot of women shrink. And that's another word we hear floating around: shrink. Don't shrink for other ones. Don't shrink. It's hard if you're dealing with a personality type in a relationship and you're settling for less than you deserve. You're in a relationship with someone that is not a good fit for you. Some women don't want to argue. Once again, we don't want to have to deal with it. We don't want to have to try to, because some of these guys are good manipulators. They're good at controlling you verbally. They're good at being condescending, making you feel small. If you don't know who you are, if you don't know your worth, you will fall into that trap. So just to get through a day, once again, or get through the week, or get through that moment, you're going to allow things to be said, and you're going to downsize who you are sometimes to make him comfortable. If it looks like you're taking the shine and you're the one that's naturally got this talent and this gift. If he's in the background, think about Ike Turner and Tina Turner.
Oh, yes.
He's back there with that mushroom wig. She's the showstopper. Yeah. Everyone came to see her. That bothered him because he was controlling and manipulative, and how dare she shine? How dare she take all the attention? A lot of guys in relationships, unfortunately, when they see the woman that they're with taking all the attention, it bothers them.
Yes.
That bothers them. So they want to try to control that relationship. It's unfortunate. It makes me sad to the core of my gut that a lot of guys are like that. It really does. Yeah. I really wish more people would get help to not feel the need to be like that. That's where that word alignment comes in at. When you're aligned with someone, they're not going to compete with you. They're going to always be celebrating your wins. They're going to try to see what they can do to help, hype you up, to keep you going. And they're also going to have their own things going too. And you're going to celebrate their stuff. Yeah. And that's just what a good relationship, a healthy relationship looks like. It's from a genuine place.
Yes.
It's not a place of obligation. Oh, now let me just go ahead and look out for her since she looked out for me. Let me just do my due diligence. I'm the spouse. I'm the boyfriend. Let me just go ahead and support her since she came to my thing. Since she paid for this for me.
From the heart.
But when you're aligned, that person wants to do it. They can't wait for you to reach that next level. They can't wait to help you evolve to that next level.
That is the difference.
You know you're not selling when you're with someone like that.
That is the difference.
It's a difference.
Yes. And there's even this trend that I saw too, where women were saying once they leave relationships, they're getting their spark back.
What?
So it just shows that it can be draining.
It can be draining.
Because a lot of men, like you said, they do see a woman, she has all of these things going for her and she's shining. But then when he gets with her, everything that attracted him to her, now he's threatened by it.
And when she starts to downsize and downplay herself, then he verbally abuses her because now she don't look like she used to look. Why is that, Robin?
Wow.
Why is that, y'all?
Yeah.
Why did she stop looking like she used to look?
He's being drained.
Well, just like I said in the beginning.
Manipulated.
It not necessarily means that you're walking around looking like it right away. But at some point, you're being drained. You've been so comfortable in this space, and it's internally, emotionally draining you. But it's slowly doing it. It doesn't happen right away.
Yes.
You've been tolerating it for so long that eventually it starts to take its toll on you. Yep. And so that's just, I'll take that dog. Woof, woof.
So now that we know what these types of things look like, what are some tips for women to do that they can pour into themselves, or what can women do just to love on themselves?
Ooh, that's a good one. I love that. I love a great interview have all these amazing questions that I could just kind of I can pour into these questions. The first thing I'm going to say, I'm going to look at the camera when I say this: stop pouring into others who don't refill you.
Oh, that's key.
You are pouring all you have. And I know people feel like it shouldn't be so tick for tack. It shouldn't be eye for an eye. In some instances, it should. When are you going to get refilled? Just like a battery, it has to be recharged. When your cup is empty and you got to take that pill and you need something to wash it down, you got to fill that cup back up to wash the pill down. I want to also say this. You have to rest. I'm not sure if you saw my most recent post where I talked about and I wrote a blog about it on my blog, TinsleyBradford.com. It's called Settle Free Living Offline.
Ooh.
So I'm resting. I'm getting myself together. I'm mentally preparing for the next steps in my life. My mom passed away last year in 2025. Yes. It was devastating. So I'm still it's very new. I'm still in the grieving process. So I needed some time away from online and social media and all of that. But I'm resting, so I had to remember that, how can I put it? It's a very important way to put that. Rest is very necessary. Boundaries are all a part of protecting your peace and yourself. And silence is powerful.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of everything. So silence is powerful. Rest is necessary. And boundaries are a part of protecting your peace. All of that is a part of how you start pouring into yourself. You can't pour into yourself if you're always talking, yelling for 365 days a year, fussing, online trying to prove something, engaging, not having a free head to really hear what's being said to yourself. Realizing that being at peace and pouring into yourself can even become a little bit more peaceful than all the chaos you may be used to. People may be used to chaos because they thrive better when they feel like music is playing here. This noise is going on there. This person is saying this. And it's okay if that's your thing. But when you step back and look at it, why do you need all that noise? Whatever it is, music, radio, online going on, the video playing, the gaming going on, somebody talking on the phone at the same time. How can you focus with all that noise? And so just imagine what's going on in your brain sometimes that you can't see. You can't see inside my brain. You can see my cute hair. My daughter did this for me.
Yes.
You can see my hair, but you can't see inside my brain. But if it's always busy, I don't have time to think. I don't have time to focus. I don't have time to really function right. And another thing, the final thing I can say is you do not have to announce your growth. Let it just shine through. People are going to see it anyway.
Yes.
They're going to know you stepped away for whatever reason. They're going to know you weren't in the thing like you used to be. Whatever you're doing behind the scenes, you don't have to make an announcement about it. You don't have to prove it. Let your growth be the response. The growth comes from the resting. The growth comes from the pouring into yourself. The growth comes from the boundary setting. The growth comes from the silence. The growth comes from not pouring into others who not refilling you. So that's a part of how to pour into yourself, and don't feel guilty about it. Like, I know it's always a flip side. Oh, if I stop engaging them, people are going to think this, and people are going to think that the perception I was on. Who cares?
Right.
At some point, it has to be who cares. You matter more than what everybody think. The validation from half the people isn't even really worthy of your peace at this point.
Yeah.
It's not worthy of your peace at this point. Come on, let your peace be it. And I look at me and your relationship. I'm also going to give you some more kudos. Robin, let me say this, y'all. So Robin is a type of professional and very talented person who I look at her as like a quiet storm. You may not necessarily hear a lot, but for Robin, you don't have to hear anything because she's powerful just being there.
Oh, thank you, Queen.
And I mean that. She doesn't have to be loud to be powerful. She's very impactful. And I see that. I see through. And I'm going to give an example. I see through if a post get only 10 likes versus one that got 1,000 likes. I don't care about that. The person is powerful. It's going to be those days, even with myself, and I say that about you because I look at how you grow, how you evolve, how you move, the way you move when you want to, according to what you want to do when you want to. No apologies, no explanation, nobody shaming you into why you ain't been out there interviewing people. You do what you want to do when you want to. That right there is a life of not settling.
Yes.
You're not settling for people's expectations and people's requirement of what they think you should be doing to deem you successful. What they think you should be out there in the streets and on the red carpets, constantly going, not resting, not setting boundaries, not being silent sometimes, not doing what's necessary to pour into yourself.
And I do have to, and I thank you for that because just as yourself, I lost my mom. It just made 3 years this month, actually.
Yes.
So I had to take some time and pour into myself and just really grieve and go through the process. And, you'll notice who was pouring into you at that time or who was supporting you at that time.
You'll notice.
Yeah, you notice. And being in the entertainment industry, you are expected to always be here, there, all in the mix. But no, that is not healthy. It's not healthy mentally. I said, when God says move, that's when I'm going to move.
Just like that.
Okay.
Let me tell you, and it's a grieving process, and it takes a while. Like mine is very fresh, but it's never ending.
Never.
You say 3 years, it's still fresh for you, I'm sure. Even though mine just happened 4 months ago or 5 months ago, it's still fresh. And I needed this time. And so, I look at you as someone I look up to. I know the interview is about me and settle free, but hey, you live in a settle free life because you move on your terms. And I see that. People see that. And I respect that. And people respect that. And that is powerful, Robin.
Thank you.
That's powerful. Move on your terms, people. Whoever's watching this. As you can see, I'm Tinsley Bradford. And I live a settle-free life for real.
Yes.
Like, I have learned this life. It hasn't always been like that, but move on your terms unapologetically.
That's what we have to do. And it's not easy because, like you said, there's the expectations or someone's going to think, oh, they're not doing anything or they fell off or whatever. Yeah. But you have to silence that and just know know who you are, like you said, know your strengths, your power, know what you bring to the table, know what you are capable of, and you don't have to prove anything. I think you said on the internet, I'm not performing for y'all.
I'm not for that. I be telling one of my coworkers at work, she be laughing at me because I be at my desk going, Reddit. I'm not tap dancing around, not Reddit to nobody.
No,
I don't have to. I don't owe you a performance. I don't owe you an explanation.
Exactly.
If I want to get out there and do a little something, that's what I want to do. But the whole settle free offline, I mean, I literally had not posted anything since a little bit before Christmas when I shared that recent post about the settle free offline. It felt good to not be on there for a while. And I did make an announcement about it. I just simply posted on the Happy New Year post, let folks know, hey, go to my website and read more about my settle free offline.
Yep.
You may realize something about yourself that you might want to change. You might want to start being a little less loud and a little more silent and kind of like take the time that you need for yourself, whatever that is. It doesn't have to be the loss of a loved one that requires rest and requires downtime. It could just be the fact that you're in a toxic relationship for 365 days of your life and you need some time to kind of like think, where is this going? You know, and so you got to pour into yourself. You know, you have to. I know that question was tips for pouring into yourself, and I end up with the Reddit tatty. But y'all got the tips right. Stop pouring into people that ain't refilling. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you rest. Make sure you set boundaries and know when to be silent and know when to be talking.
Absolutely. And rest is not something, like you said, it shouldn't be just, oh, I went through something or going through something. That should be something that we incorporate daily on a regular basis so that the recovery is not as extensive. Because if you are already depleted and something happens, it's going to be even more traumatic versus if you are already rested and calm, you can deal with it, handle it a little better. That's what I had to learn.
When you are well rested, things don't impact you like that. It's not that you don't feel it. It's just you can handle it better because you're not in reactive mode. You're at peace, you know, and you can handle it and deal with it better, manage it better. That's good. That's good. Did y'all hear that? Of course y'all did. Y'all on this podcast.
Now we know, Valentine's Day will be coming up soon, and there's something called Galentine's. I wanted your thoughts on that. Why do you think it's so popular?
Wow, it's funny that we're even talking about that because before that we're talking about toxic relationships, settling for less, not settling for less, making sure you're not in a relationship that's not healthy, making sure you get the rest and the things you need, making sure that people are pouring into you back when you pour into them. They're refilling your cup. Here's my thing that I think it's popular because a lot of women realize that love doesn't necessarily always have to come from a romantic relationship. Love can be sisterhood. It can be a community of like-minded women, because we call it Galentine's, who, whether you're single, in a relationship, just broke up, just got out of one, dealing with something right now for that 365 days you're trying to work your way through. It's support from women who understand, the journey of being single and knowing how to navigate without feeling like they're less than because they are single. What we talked about earlier about that person who's more relieved than excited to be in a relationship. Well, at least I got a man. Well, at least so. Galentine's is a reminder that you don't even have to have a man to be happy and to have love and to celebrate. Get the little finger foods and snacks, get the little stuff and celebrate. Get your little wine, get your beverages. It's pro-community. It's all about women getting together. Cheers. It's not about any type of relationship. Some people try to downsize and now women loving on each other. They don't even need us no more. It's deeper than that. It's a mind thing. It's growth. It's all about that time, that downtime you need to get out of, the mess, the noise that's right here around this country, in this world today. It's all about that. And I'm going to say this, it's all about also the way you put yours together. It's also about celebrating yourself with like-minded women. Yes. The word celebration is, in my opinion, does not always have to be when it's someone's birthday, when it's someone's wedding. That's a good time to celebrate. Galentine's is a good time to celebrate just being. Yes. Just making it through some storms. Celebrate. And, I've gone to a few in the past. And one time I went to one and all the women in the room talked about the milestones they reached. One lady talked about how she just got out of an abusive relationship and it was a year. Do you know how I want to cry right now for her? Because I still think about that. I lost contact with her. I wish I could find her. But she got out of a toxic relationship, and that was her milestone. Other people was talking about, girl, I got a raise. Girl, I just got a brand new house in the car. And it's not to downplay what they are saying or hers, but hers touched more because she got out of that thing.
Yes.
We all cried with her. Because if you've been in a relationship with someone who wasn't pouring back into you and you've given your all to that person, you know you have. Because you know what you can give. You know what God put in your spirit to do. And you thought you was pouring into the right mate. To watch a woman survive that and to get out of that and to be at a Galentine's with me and some of the other beautiful queens that were there that day and to tell us, I got out of an abusive. This man was whipping her butt, fighting her, blacking her eyes, busting her lip. Every other day for no
just
reason.
The fact that she's here and she survived that.
So that's another reason.
Tremendous.
Well, Galentine's Day is exciting too because she's single by choice now because she got out of a really bad situation. But why belittle someone like that because she's single? She survived something.
Yes, and I think it's good that women are pouring into each other and loving on each other. I love to see it. I mean, just getting cute, putting on the red and the pink, and celebrating each other. I love it. Every time I see the videos or I see pictures, I think I've been to one maybe. Yep. So it's definitely something that I love to see. I love the movement. So ladies, continue the Galentine's. Don't worry about what the men are saying on the internet.
Yes, it's no longer limited to just romantic relationships. Yes. It's about community and love. Showing your sister girl some love.
Yes,
I love it, and I see why it's popular.
And on the other side of that, do you think it's because the men weren't stepping up, or even the women that are in relationships? Some of the men be like, I treat her like this every day, or every day is Valentine's Day. I don't need a Valentine's Day to solidify our relationships. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, if you don't get, one of my favorite sayings is, I'm trying to figure out who told me this, but I've been using it ever since. If you can't get it in the washing, get it in the rinsing. So if he's not going to do it, honey, do it for yourself.
I know
and Galentine's Day is the rinsing. He didn't do it in the washing. It's all good. We're going to go to the rinsing cycle and we're going to do it together. We're going to look out for each other at Galentine's Day. We're going to celebrate ourselves. We're going to buy that handbag we want. We're going to get our nails done if we want to. We're going to go get a massage. We're going to treat ourselves. We're going to sit around with champagne, some wine, just talk and have some fun celebratory stories.
Yes.
And just celebrate on each other. It's all good. Let him sit over there and grumble about what he ain't doing. Because soon he might be the next topic of the next Galentine's, how she got out of that situation.
Yes. There's nothing like sitting down with your girlfriends and venting, just like the whole waiting to exhale movement. Yes. I've seen some birthday party themes.
I see them too.
What? Isn't that amazing?
It's amazing. Whoever's coming up with highlighting that, I love it. First of all, keep him a girl, Whitney Houston, legacy alive, because when I hear Waiting to Exhale, that's the first face I see.
Yes.
All of them are amazing who played on that cast, but you can't deny Whitney Houston was in that, and we always love her. But that Waiting to Exhale themed parties and celebrations, that is so amazing. I remember when I seen it pop up on social media, I can't remember who it was, it brought tears to my eyes.
Yes.
I think this whole resting thing and being off social media, I'm not going to say it makes me vulnerable, but it brings so much more emotion to me. Like the things I do see when I scroll, it's it makes me get a little bit more sentimental, because I understand what these women are going through. And to have sisters around you or friends around you trying to lift you up during some of your most vulnerable and sad moments, it's the icing on the cake of community. Having those type of people in your life when you're down and they just show up out of nowhere to lift you up like that is just priceless.
Yes, it is priceless because not everyone has that. I remember watching a movie when it initially came out. I was younger and I was just I was like, that is an amazing set of women to have that type of friendship. And they were able to be there for each other throughout the different trials that they were going through, the heartbreak and the betrayal, just everything. But they were there for each other. So that made it a little, not say easier, but they were able to get through it. They knew that they had each other.
Right. That is so true.
Yes. So I'm thinking about, I want to do a little party like that maybe.
Let's do some Galentine's 2026. Like Let's have a Galentine's. We already got the attire going on here.
We have on the pinks and get the pinks and red. Yeah, I love it.
Yes. Let's think about that. Maybe plan one, like that. Let's do it.
So I want to go into balance. As we know, this platform is just about women finding unique ways to find balance at different stages in their lives. Like what looks like balance for you at 25 might be different at 35, 45, 55. So for you, what does balance look like right now?
Balance means no more overextending myself. No more over-explaining. No more over-engaging. Just being, being okay with being at peace without, like I told you earlier, in regards to you and how I view you, moving on your terms, being able to be at peace and prioritizing your peace without apologizing for it.
Yes.
Let me tell you something that happened the other day, and it was the funniest thing. I was at work, and one of this guy who we're not talking anything. We just kind of like reconnected. He's a DJ or whatever. And I can't stand when people use whatever they're doing as an opportunity to kind of like promote themselves. And it's very unauthentic, Mm-hmm. So he asked me a question and I answered the question, and he no longer needed my answer. But then he came right back shortly after that with this flyer. And he's like, come through. And the way he said was just come through. My immediate response was, nope. And he said, okay. And it got silent. But do y'all know how good that felt? Because the old me would have tried to extend myself. That would have tried to show up. I wouldn't have caught the fact that this conversation that he started about something totally different, why suddenly do I need to fall through? Because you sent me this flyer, because you said so. Why?
Yeah. No, it's a complete sentence.
NOPE, honey. Nope.
No,
no apologize. No is a complete sentence. No explaining. No making up a No, I got to do this. Nope. So that's a part of my balance, prioritizing my peace. I know when to be visible. I know when to be quiet.
Yes.
All of that is just,
it's necessary.
It's necessary. It's necessary for me right
yes. Now. And I know that felt good. It does feel good when you do set boundaries, especially after overextending yourself for so long and feeling that you have to be everything to everyone.
Yes. And another thing just came to me. Choosing who deserves my energy and letting the rest pass me by. Mm-hmm. That's another thing that balances me. Choosing who deserves my energy, what deserves my energy, and letting the rest pass me by. And I don't even look back. It's not that you're cold. It's not that or that I lack any kind of emotion. Because trust me, I will be 55 years old January 24th.
You out.
It's coming up.
Yes.
But I don't have time for it anymore. It's hard to deal with people where everything seems like it's up for debate. I'm looking at you and I say, oh, I love your hair. It's such a cute color. It looks like an auburn. You're like, no, it's a red. I'm like, it looks red. No, it's actually so-and-so. I'm like, oh, I love the nails though. Is that like the so-and-so? No, actually it's the so-and-so tip. So-and-so tip. Everything is up for debate. Yeah. Just take the compliment and move on.
Misery loves company.
Oh my God. Yeah. Right.
Like some people just get like, what do you get out of being negative?
What do you get out of it? And I'm trying to say something nice. And so that right there, I am now very selective when it comes to balancing, choosing who deserves my energy and who can just walk on by.
Yeah.
And even with that, if I say, oh, it's pretty, you're like, well, it's actually so and so. I'm like, oh, okay. And I move on. I'm not going to go back and forth. But to me, it looks like this. And you'll be there forever. Carry on. You won't get no more of my time, honey.
No, absolutely not. I love that for you. Let them be.
Let them be, honey.
There's a saying, just let them.
Oh, I love that lady. Robbins?
Yes, let them.
Woo, she deep.
I know.
I love her.
And I get it now. Mm-hmm. I get
let
it.
Them.
Everything is not for us to solve or debate or no.
I have this saying I make when I'm in the workplace, whenever I'm deleting emails and I'm like done with it or I'm not even going to comment. I be like, dirt. So when people do foolish stuff, dirt. On to the next one.
That's it. Let's keep it moving right along.
Yes.
By all means. Yep. So you did mention your blog and your website. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about that and some other projects that we can look out for.
So the website is tinslybradford.com. And my amazing web designer has a baby on the way. So right now she's in her downtime. So I'm going to be completely revamping my website when she gets back. I mean, I probably can do her team or whatever, but that's another discussion. But I'm going to be doing a whole new website. So you're going to see more about the settle free lifestyle, not just only the settle free dating, but the settle free lifestyle tips on there and what that looks like. And I'm currently working on my next book.
Wow.
I'm excited. I can't tell y'all the title because social media is a beast. They be trying to steal your stuff.
Yes.
The title is going to be catchy. But pretty much I'm working on that book. And when I go away for my birthday this year, I'm actually traveling. I told you that.
You did.
I'm going to be going on a solo trip, my first solo trip. I think it might be solo. My daughter and grandson may somehow convince me to bring them. I love them, so they can come. But, you know, I'm going to be using that time for just mostly my downtime to write my book, to work on it, to try to finish it if I can. And the book is about being left out. I'm going to read some things off of here, though, because I did write that down. The book is about being left out and not letting that experience harden or define you. That's what this is about. It's about talking honestly about exclusion and what that feels like. You know, not being invited, not being invited, not being chosen, and how to still build a full life after that. I'm sure a lot of people can honestly say, that's why we got so much noise on social media. A lot of people feel like they were excluded. They're not included. They were left out for whatever reason, even by people who you thought valued you, who you've done things with and done things for. And then you later on look online and see them doing these things and they didn't even include you and you don't even understand why. Not that it validates you. And now I'm at a level where I don't even look for that validation. I don't care, but you still can't deny that could be kind of hurtful.
Yes.
You know, how to realize that being left out does not mean that you're lacking. This is a key one right here. Showing people that being left out does not mean that you're lacking. It often means that you're just simply being redirected. This book is going to cover all of that. How are you redirecting your steps after such an experience? You know, I've had people who I've done stuff with. I thought we were close, and then they turn around and get married. Didn't even invite me to the wedding. I'm like, I don't get no invite. Your girl don't get no invite. You know, how do you navigate through that? You see in the posts and all this. I've had people I've worked with, and I got to say this, it's not that they are expected to do a darn thing for you, because folks don't have to. They don't. But it's just about reciprocal energy. Just like I talked about, stop pouring into people who don't refill you. If you're doing stuff with your platform, constantly inviting people and all that, and then you see some of these same people, this hurt me. I've had this happen to me. I ain't gonna say no names, but these same people right in your face, inviting people that they met at your events to stuff they're having and didn't even include you or even mention you. And you know that they connected in your thing. That's nasty. Yes. That's nasty work.
That is nasty work.
How do you build and navigate through that, you know? So it's going to teach you how to process exclusion without wearing your emotions on your face and carrying it around in every room you walk in, because it's easy to do. Like, I could come over here and go, she didn't speak to me on Christmas. You don't have to, but I know you love me and I love you. I got much respect for you. I may not have got around to it. You may not have got around. Stuff like that. The pettiness of people expecting something and letting that be their reason for disconnecting with certain people. That's not enough. For certain people, you have to let people go. We have to talk about the whole thing that I talked about, you know, who deserves your energy, who doesn't. Quit watching every move someone and ready to kind of like hold them on trial for every little shortcoming that you feel they did. You know, like, my gosh, he didn't call me that day. He didn't call me that day. She didn't say this. She didn't like a status. She didn't even share that post. She didn't do that. You're keeping tabs and it's draining you.
It is.
For the wrong reasons, you know. So this book is going to talk about how to not let people who have excluded you for whatever reason, made you feel away. This could be in relationships too. You know, this book is going to cover so much, you know, and I'm not going to be name dropping. So don't worry, you're safe. Anyhow.
No free promotion.
No free promotion, boo. But it happens. And a lot of people can relate to it. And I believe they're going to resonate to it. I believe it's going to resonate with a lot of people.
Yes, that is awesome. And congratulations.
I can't wait. Thank you. I can't wait to finish it.
I can't wait.
I can't wait to name drop the title.
Yes.
Yeah, it's catchy.
Yes, definitely keep me posted.
I will.
Whenever the book comes out, we'll share it with the viewers. So be on the lookout for it. We don't have the title yet, but stay tuned.
Yes. And so anyone that wants to visit my website, I blog. That's another thing I'm doing in my downtime. I do a lot of writing. I'm back to a lot of writing, less posting and talking online and commenting, and more of what I love. I've been writing since I was very young. When I was in elementary school, the principal, my teachers, they loved my writing so much. They would literally, a story that was supposed to be a 3-paragraph sentence using the spelling words for the day always turned into this long, drawn out story. And like, I was so creative and just, I love writing, and I would take it long. I remember one of my very first stories was the long walk home or the long way home or something like that. It was supposed to be the girl supposed to go to the store to get milk and pick up butter or something for her mom, and she ended up going through so much on the way home. But that story was so long they hung it up in the principal's office. And then I wrote another little story about the mailman, something like that, the letter that was supposed to be delivered at the mailbox. It was like little stuff for a child in the 4th and 5th grade writing this type of stuff. So if y'all loved, that type of reading, if you're still a reader, I love reading. Do you still like reading?
Yes.
I love reading. Everything is not going to be a video and me moving around, rat it, tat it. All the performance. I love to read and I love to write. So if you are a writer and a reader and you love that type stuff, go to TinsleyBradford.com and check out some of my most recent posts on there. And that's what you just do, until my book comes out. And then I am working on some things in the future, but I'll actually have to mention those later on as they start to unfold, but right now this just is about enjoying this moment of what I'm doing. The book is going to be the next big thing for those who like to read. No, it's not. It probably can be a digital book, but it's not a real life book. So you won't be able to press it and see the book move around by itself with legs and arms. You actually have to open it up and read
That's
it.
That's right.
So, it may not be as entertaining for those who love to be performed to all the time, but it's going to be a good read for those who can relate to feeling left out and included or excluded for no reason at all. And it'll resonate with you, especially some of those stories that I'm going to be telling you in there. So I'm excited.
Yes, I'm excited for you.
Yes.
So we look forward to it. And congratulations on all of that. I know it's going to be awesome. It's coming from you. I know you're going to put a lot into it. Yeah. You're going to make sure that it's going to be something that represents your talent, your skill, your knowledge, because that's how you operate. So I definitely look forward to it.
Thank you so much.
Yes. And thank you so much for joining us here. Her Balance Redefined. You have just laid it all out about being balanced, being settle free, loving on yourself. That's what it embodies. And I do want to thank you again just for being an awesome person, an awesome friend.
Thank you so much, Robin. Thanks for having me on here. And I'm going to drop one key thing for people to take away with them. Settle free lifestyle is not loud. It's not always loud. It's just intentional. It's intentional.
Just intentional. Yes. So thank you guys. This concludes the episode of Her Balance Redefined. Stay tuned.
Bye. Thank you.